Oops, sorry, I got the sound on my phone.
Yeah, that's that old man shit. You starting it again.
I know. Dude, I know. I'm talking about it's 2021. 2021, Fred. Shit.
Hey, man,
South America.
We done made it through the hard shit. What's the problem?
We made it, but I don't know how we made it. Let me go to here so I can see you guys. All right. So for those watching on Twitter and Facebook, welcome to Chicken Smoot. We have changed up the our modus operandi tonight. Normally we come from Augie's in Old Town Alexandria, but tonight we're coming from home. A lot of different things went into that. Obviously, night game as well. We're going to do a post-game show, so do not worry. We'll be on the post-game show as soon as that game's over. But Fred Smoot is here. Our producer, Amish Lightfoot Fenwick, is in the house. Now, Fred, you didn't see this before. We did a little test run earlier, and apparently, I think Amish's fiance might have done something with the screen. So he had fake eyebrows, and he removed them since. I thought it would have been funny to see him.
I had some good eyebrows. I can't lie.
So that just, that's how you know you got new love, chick. When you still letting your girl, your woman play with your eyebrows and stuff like that, that's when you know you got new love. So we veterans to this love stuff, chick. Your wife ain't played with your eyebrows for decades.
No chance. She has no idea what I do for a living. By the way, I called Georgetown Marquette last night for CBS Sports Network, and I'll give my wife props. She was texting me during the second half going, "You're doing really good." So I give her props for that. But generally, 3 kids that live in this house right now because of COVID have no idea that I was gone. That's ridiculous.
Come on, you got grown kids, chick. These are not 10-year-olds. These are people with lives and a cell phone and cable and other stuff. All right?
Yeah. They're grown kids who are living in my house and eating my food.
COVID.
Yeah, they're not working. Someone's providing for them, okay? Someone is providing for them.
Hey, stop all that crying. If you do all the crying, what the baby gonna do? Just tired of it.
Good point. So, boys, we got ourselves this is a playoff game. This is a playoff game, right? Mm-hmm. You win, you're in. You lose, you're out. And it's hard to believe at this point. Think about this for a second. What we have here tonight is the possibility that a starting quarterback nearly died 2 years ago, nearly lost his leg, will lead this team. And if things don't go particularly well for him and his bad calf and Alex Smith, then a guy who was studying mathematics at Old Dominion University will be the quarterback that tries to lead them to the playoffs the first time in 2015. You can't make this shit up.
Hey, listen. See, this is why people from the ghetto like myself don't believe that we ever get props. We don't get props because guess what happened when I walked to the store in the ghetto? I almost died. Guess what happened when I went down the street in the ghetto? I almost died.
How'd you almost die?
Weekly, you almost die. But when you make it out of there, you just can't. Things are no harder. Once he made it past the surgeries, that's when life got harder for Alex. Once he made it past the surgeries, now it was about, does he want to play the game? Because he could have just said, you know what? Y'all owe me $70 million. I'm just going to sit back and get it. He said, no, I want to play. And coach saw it earlier than everybody. He said, you know what? If we get a guy like Alex in here with the talent we got, we can go to the playoffs. Everybody early said he was wrong. I was one of those people like, let him. He knows something that we don't know.
Right. All right. So as I said, I was going to tell you guys, and you guys know this, but our viewing audience does not. So our guest tonight is Jason Campbell, who has already chimed in here. So let's bring him in.
He's a quarterback. He's always on time.
Always on time. Let me find him. He's there. Where'd he go?
He do got that photo. He does have an outdated haircut, and I don't know how good his haircut goes with technology.
Well, first off, he's sideways. What the hell,
He's from
Jason?
Mississippi. Give him a chance. He's from Mississippi. Hold up.
We got 2 Mississippi guys here.
Turn it the other way. Jay, turn it the other way.
2 Mississippi guys. Oh, Lord.
This is too good.
How many Mississippi guys does it take to perform a Zoom? Turn it the other way. Jay, turn it the other way. You sideways.
Jason, can you hear us?
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
Can you hear us? Let's see. Can you hear me now? There you go.
Yeah,
yes. There he is.
Ooh, that Rick Ross glistening over there.
Oh, man, I always had to turn the other way for the other shows.
Oh, the other shows. He's a very busy man, Jason Campbell. For those folks, no question. So we're live on Facebook and Twitter. For those who don't know this man, Jason Campbell, first-round pick in 2005 out of Auburn. Played 4 years in Washington, 2 in Oakland, 1 in Chicago, 1 in Cleveland, 1 in Cincinnati. Had a chance to get to the playoffs with the Burgundy and Gold, but got injured. And a guy named Todd Collins was the guy. That didn't work out so well. Jason, how you doing, man?
Hey, guys, I'm doing great. Can't complain. Ready to watch this game tonight. Just kind of watch some really good football games today. So, it's a very relaxing Sunday.
Well, Jason, I gave you some props when we signed one Dwayne Haskins, and I was on the radio and I was talking to people and I said, I think he needs to sit down and have a face-to-face with Jason Campbell. And they were like, why Jason Campbell? Because I said, I know one thing Jason knows how to do. He knows the professional side of being a quarterback. You know how to be what I call you a politician. You know how to be a politician. You know how to politic. You know when to be a place. You know when not to be a place. If we could rewind time back 3 months and you had to sit down 2 days in a row with Haskins, what would you tell Haskins?
Yeah, I would tell Haskins, man, like you don't understand the importance of the position that you're playing. You got to embrace this opportunity. Like you're an African-American quarterback, you're in the nation's capital. I understand this is where you grew up at, but you got to set that to the side. You got to understand that, hey, you got to figure out like how to get your teammates to believe in you and how to get them to rally, how you rally your troops around you. And how you do that, man, it's so much about your actions. Like your words can say so much, but what you do speaks volumes to your teammates. Like if they see you putting in the work out the practice, if they see you studying hard, they see you win or lose, or they see you putting forth your best foot effort, they gonna ride with you. I said, but if they feel like that you're not, reaching out to the guys and, you can't just be a quarterback and just like sit in a room by yourself. You got to be able to talk to all your teammates, like all the way down to the kickers. You got to have a relationship with everyone. And I always try to make sure that when I was playing ball that I had a relationship with everyone. That's why I still talk to a lot of guys now. But I also would have told him like, hey, make sure that you're coachable. And what I mean by that is you're still a young guy. Like you have Alex in the room, like gravitate to some of the things that he's been through and utilize it as a mentor because, he only had 1 year at Ohio State. And a lot of that year was a lot of success. And what he didn't understand is the first time he really hit adversity was in Washington. And he couldn't understand, how to deal with some of the losing. He couldn't understand like when you're a big target in that city, when you don't win, like everyone comes for the quarterback, but you got to be able to channel that in and be able to say, hey, I got to be able to block the outside noise and focus on what's in the locker room and focus on what I need to do to improve as a player to help my team win on Sunday. Regardless of what's going on around me, I got to make sure that I do my part. And I think he didn't have the right people in his ear. I just feel like he needed that mentor and that kind of the people that can talk to him. I just feel like he didn't have that.
I knew it was over, Jay, when I seen the plaits in his head. Like, listen, it's just certain things, quarterback, like it's only one Lamar Jackson. Like, it's always going to be this one person that can kind of bend the wheel. But you also got to take on the identity of your city. Baltimore is gritty. The Wire was shot in Baltimore. They don't care about their quarterbacks having plaits in their head. But this is Washington, D.C. And when I saw that, they just told me that he ain't focused on being a leader of these guys. He's focused on being one of them. And I knew that's when it was going to go sideways.
Yeah, I'm talking about you a quarterback. Yeah, go ahead, Chick.
No, I'm saying he was more focused on being a brand than being a quarterback in the National Football League, which is what we saw. We saw him the first game he won. What's he doing before the game's over, taking a selfie? I mean, what? You're an NFL player, dude. What are you doing? I get you're young, but you can't do that. And so here we are. It's a game that is they can win and get in. And we're talking about Dwayne Haskins, who's no longer on this team, Jason. This guy was waived on Monday, cleared waivers. Nobody's like, nah, we're good because they've seen what's on tape. They've heard, blah, blah, blah. And we're still talking about Dwayne Haskins when the Burgundy and Gold have a game tonight. Do you think that Haskins, me and Fred, And by the way, if you don't know Jason, that's Cy in the top corner there. He's our producer, Cy Fenwick. We call him the Amish man.
He ride a horse to the restaurant every
All right.
Yes. He's got a it's a horse and buggy.
This is not an Amish beard. What is it? Like,
that's an Andrew Luck right there. That's a totally neck beard. Right
how?
He does look like Andrew Luck, though.
Oh no. Oh, whoa.
You got to talk out of your chest. So here we are. Do you think that Dwayne Haskins and me? I was going to say that me and Fred have been in his corner for a great portion of his career, and we desperately wanted him to do well this year when he got the chance. That did not take place, and he kind of proved to us he doesn't have the mettle right now. He's got physical talents out the wazoo, got that, but he doesn't have the mental capacity right now to just take the job the way it's supposed to be. Do you think? I think he deserves a third chance. I'll say third, but do you think that if he does have the right people in his corner, that he can be a bona fide quarterback in this league?
Well, I say this, Chick. I say, for Dwayne, this is a time that he needs to look himself in the mirror and see, like, exactly what are the things he did wrong and be honest with himself. Like, don't, let someone try to sugarcoat you or, try to do things to make you feel emotionally good about, where you're at right now. No, you should look yourself in the mirror and say, a lot of this is self-inflicted. Yeah, like you can't control a lot of things that went through last season, coaching changes and everything. But a lot of stuff that he got in trouble for was off the field. And some of the things that you hear about, just want to stay out, not staying out to practice or, not engaging with teammates and, like just getting in trouble, breaking some of the rules. Like as a quarterback, you're always held to a different standard. And, you can't be like the DBs. Fred to say DBs are a little wild, wide receivers are a little wild, everybody else on the team, they can do some of those things, but you are looked at differently. You are a CEO pretty much of a football team. And hopefully, he looks at this and say, hey, I got to mature in a lot of areas of my life because a lot of the things he did were just strictly from immaturity and not having those people, like I said before, in his corner, being honest with him. You can have a lot of yes people around you, but if you don't have someone to tell you like, hey, man, you need to like really step it up. Like you need to, the things you're doing, it's going to hurt you more than
just like I did you, Jason. And when I seen you stepping out of line and we was in the locker room and you had on them wrestling draws, I pulled you to the side and I said, you can't do that. Not as our leader. You can't do that. All right. And after that, what did you do? You left them draws in town.
Jason, how did you deal with this guy? How did you deal with this guy as your teammate?
Hey, you got to have tunnel vision when you're dealing with Fred. You know what I'm saying? You got to know who you're talking to and what you're dealing with. Like Fred was handing out all kind of awards during the season. He stand beside the bus and look at people come on the bus with what kind of suit they got on. They got a dead man suit on. They got a suit for Arsenio Hall or something. He always cracking jokes on folks.
The Tyrone Hill Award.
He made football fun though. I say this: you got to have teammates like Fred on the team because when you're going through some rough times, you got to be able to laugh. And I think Fred did a great job of keeping our team
does do a good job
in that aspect.
Yeah.
Well, when you say tough times, anytime that your head coach is Jim Zorn, those are tough times.
They set us up.
Yeah, we went through some tough times. Anytime that you go get a bingo caller off the couch, it comes in and call games on Sunday and just hired him on Monday. It's some hard times. That's so crazy though. I threw for a lot of yards that year, even with all the chaos going on. Yeah. And everything. So, I just try to keep myself just moving forward and not focus on things I couldn't control.
Let me tell you this. So we would do on Mondays, we would do the interview with the coach on Comcast Sportsnet. So we have the coach live. We did Shanahan, we did Zorn. And so we're doing Zorn, and I forget what week it is. They brought in the old bingo caller. Sherm?
Yeah, Coach Sherm.
Yeah,
Sherman Hemsley is what I call him.
Lewis. Bingo.
Sherman
Lewis.
Bingo,
Sherman Lewis.
I used to call him Sherman Hemsley off of Amen because he looked just like.
Oh my gosh. So, it gets out that he's been calling bingo games. And so before the live shot, this is on a Monday after a game, he sits down before we go live and I say, look, coach, I'm going to have to ask you about Sherman Lewis, calling plays, and the fact that he was a bingo caller the week before. And he looks at me before we go on the air and he goes, well, what do you want me to say to that? And I'm like, nothing, but I have to bring it up because that's the question on every fan's mind.
Right.
So live on the air, we get through the first couple game questions. And I said, Coach, I got to get your reaction to Sherman Lewis who is calling plays this week. Last week he was calling bingo. You know, I mean, how do you process that? And he just looks at me and he says it out loud. He goes, "What do you want me to say?" Because my hands are tied. And it's
hey,
like,
man, sometimes it's nothing you can say. It's
right. That's the same thing he told me when he came in there. He said, man, in all my years of coaching football and everything, he said, I've never, ever seen a player in this type of situation where, you know, you're dealing with so much chaos. He was just like, I really hadn't even had an opportunity really to even speak to your head coach. He said, because, you know, Jim Zorn was kind of upset about the whole ordeal of him coming in there. And
because
he was a
now
guru.
this guy's calling plays, and he was just like, well, what do you like? He was like, you know, we'll try to get you in some plays and everything you enjoy. So you're talking about like two people really not even communicating, but one's in the booth and he got to call the plays down to the other, and he got to relay it into me. I'm the third person to find out what's going on.
Y'all chill out, I'm working.
And this is the stuff you always have to deal with, man. And it was just frustrating. But, you know, I appreciated Sherm because Sherm was honest. And, you know, he just kind of broke it down like it was. But, you know, Jim Zorn, it took him about 2 to 3 weeks before he just said, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be a distraction. I'll just buy into what we got to do, and we'll work together.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, Jim Zorn's hiring alone was bizarre. You come in as an OC, and then hey, go back home, put a suit on, come back, and then hire as a head coach. That made no damn sense.
But see, this is the equation that they never put in with college athletes. Your career is based off of what are you exposed to. So when you expose a player to 4 or 5 different offenses by the time he's in his 5th, 6th year, how do you think he's gonna string together year after year after year? Change is bad for players. That's why if Dwayne gonna get his career together, it's gonna be somewhere like Pittsburgh. Like somewhere that's already got a coach.
I say Pittsburgh or somewhere where Kevin O'Connor is.
Yep. So somewhere that already got something put together that he got a standard that he got to live to. And I don't see him going to any strip clubs in Pittsburgh because even I couldn't find one. And I have looked all over the United States.
Yeah, you're a Hall of Famer when it comes to that. You're a Hall of Famer.
I'm a good time coordinator.
Like this is what Dwayne got to do, man. Dwayne got to look at himself and say this. Look at Antonio Brown situation. Antonio thought he was riding on cloud 9. Yeah. And when he got knocked down here, and when he figured out he wasn't bigger than the NFL, now what? You don't even hear Antonio saying that. He just go to work, do his job.
He just had almost 200 yards today. We ain't heard a word. He had almost 200 yards.
Exactly, because he's matured now. He's understand like, man, this is my livelihood. I get one more shot at this. Like Dwayne's gonna get another opportunity. He's too talented not to get another opportunity. But when he get that opportunity, it's gonna be slim pickings.
Short leash.
The leash is short, you know, just because the NFL is fraternity. And you know that. Like sometimes you look at some guy, you're like, man, how this guy still in the league? Because it's a fraternity. But if he can get in there, he can show some maturity. And when he get this next opportunity, man, he got to hit the ground running. And it's not just about what he's doing so much on the field, but he got to show maturity in the weight room, in the locker room, you know, film room, just showing that he wants to be in the NFL. You know, I'm just not here to collect a check, but I want to be in the NFL because I want to be a great football player.
Right. Not showing like he did last week when he walked out on the field trying to dap up Taylor Heineke just because he saw Chase Young do it. That was a complete farce. By the way, and you're right, Fred, Antonio Brown, 11 catches, 138 yards, and 2 touchdowns today.
All right, I ain't heard a word from him.
No, you're right. All right, so tonight's game, we got Washington and Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial Field, Jason Campbell, and it's the comeback story of the year in Alex Smith. Obviously, just playing football is ridiculous. Had the calf injury in the same leg, missed 2 games. He's getting the start tonight. He'll have Terry McLaurin. I've seen some video of McLaurin, by the way, already on the field. I don't think he looks so good, but it will have Antonio Gibson in the backfield as well. If you are the Washington football team, what's your gut tell you about what this team does tonight?
Yeah, I was telling people last week, man, I said last week's game was a game I thought they should have won. You know, you got to take care of your home field, especially with the playoffs on the line. You got to beat the team that you should beat. And now you're putting all your eggs in one basket where you got to go on the road against a Philadelphia team who's starting a young quarterback who can run, who can cause a lot of problems. You know, nothing to lose and everything the game by knocking you off. And it is on Sunday night. And so this game is going to be one of those games where you got to see your real leaders got to step up. Like you see Chase Young, you know, show a lot over the last couple of weeks. I think Montez Sweat, I think he's another guy that can step up tonight and cause some problems with Hurts by jumping up, getting his hands on some balls. I think defensively, I think these guys going to come ready to play tonight. like I said, I think the one thing for Washington is, can their back end hold up with Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffries? Because they're going to get a lot of one-on-one opportunities. Because the way that they run that read option with Hurts, you got to put that 8th man in the box. So, if you can win on the outside when you're one-on-one matches, I think you got opportunity. Now, comes to Alex. Yes, Alex coming off a calf injury, and you're not young anymore, so you don't recover as fast as you used to.
Sure.
I think it's going to be very pivotal to see how he can move on that leg if he was to get pressure in the pocket. And I think, that's going to be a big key. And with McLaurin, we're not sure he's going to play, and Fred can tell you this. Anytime you play on a wet football field, you have to change your spikes. And when you change your spikes in your cleats, it does do a little something to your route run as far as like the speed and the adjustment. So, if he can't go, then that means Cam Sims has got to have a big game, and Logan Thomas has got to be a big part of the offense tonight, and for Washington to have an opportunity to score those points.
Jason, I must say, your talent on TV and radio has really went from I gave you a C- early in your career. Now you are damn good with a mic in your face. You are, from the bottom of my heart, the Prince of Soul Glow. Thank you, brother.
Hey, man. Hey, Fred, I appreciate that, man. Any compliment I can get from Fred. Fred's still upset that I beat him out for All-State in Mississippi. So,
wait a second.
In basketball, I was telling y'all when I was young, Jason was my backup. All right, at the All-State basketball team at point guard. But to say that he was my backup, I'm older than Jason, so that says a lot that he was already ranked that high and young.
So Jason, how good a baller was Fred?
No, Fred was a baller. Anytime you can, he was a baller.
My high school is for real
right
for
now.
basketball.
Tell his boys to stop all that fighting down there, so they can have a football team next year. Because half of them gonna be suspended. The season starts.
Smoot's scared to play me one-on-one. So,
but you know what? I don't take advantage of my elders. I try to make sure when I play competition, I play with people like Jason, so we can really get out to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. By the way, Amish is not older than you.
He looks older than me.
I thought
I do not look older than you. No,
he does.
You do.
He does.
You look like the guy that played for the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, Luka Doncic.
Jokovic, yeah.
No, Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'll take that. That's better than Amish. I'll take that.
No, he looked like a poor man's Luka Doncic. I'm talking about no.
My God. I thought that Washington's quarterback situation was bizarre.
Oh,
Philadelphia, Carson Wentz, he's a healthy scratch tonight. My man is gone. They
owe him $75 million.
$75 million.
$75 million.
Yeah, Carson Wentz's head was gone when they put a statue of Nick Foles up close to the locker room when they won the championship. And then when they drafted Jalen Hurts, from a quarterback standpoint, you already mentally challenged in a lot of different ways. And when you get hurt and you see somebody else come in and lead the team to the Super Bowl, and then they put a statue of him up, and this guy's still playing in the league, and then I would say you draft another quarterback in the early second round, mentally it goes to show you that he's checked out. And his only opportunity is for him to go somewhere else and have a fresh start.
Coach,
but like Fred said, he's still getting $75 million.
Yeah.
So, sometimes do you pay these quarterbacks too early, or it's the question to be seen, because, financially he can't be worrying about anything because he's set. No. But from a mental standpoint, for him to be a scratch tonight, that means he tried to be a good teammate and that couldn't work for him. Like, his feelings is hurt. It's like your girlfriend breaking up with you and getting with someone else, and you got to sit here and watch this. That's what he's looking
every
like.
Day. I'm talking about day one of your teammates. Every time y'all go on a trip, she. What you doing up in here? Huh? That what happened.
By the way, on Facebook.
That what happened. So,
on Facebook, somebody says, when are we going to talk about Mississippi State? Oh, we're not going to talk about Mississippi State.
That's fine. Y'all can't bother me, because y'all know one thing. Right now in the NFL, it's more prevalent Mississippi State Bulldogs than it is prevalent Auburn Tigers, War Eagles, whatever.
What do you think about that brawl, though?
What about Alabama? You look at our pros compared to Alabama pros, they ain't got a chance with us. They can't play with Chris Jones. They can't play with Fletcher Cox. They can't play with Simmons. Sweat. Like, when you put an all Mississippi State team together, that Auburn can't play with us. Alabama can't play with us. Two-hand quarterback, that ain't gonna work.
But how come we beat y'all every year?
Hey, I ain't got, y'all don't beat us every year, Jason. When I was in school,
y'all every year.
We was Alabama. When I was in school, I never lost to the SEC.
When I was in school, we was 3-1.
When y'all were in school, that was like a long time ago, by the way.
Well, guess what? I never lost against Auburn. So how you feeling?
What's this about? See how the college roots still run deep? And these are two Mississippi guys, by the way.
And what's so crazy is I root for Mississippi State because my brother played for State.
I'm going to say Jason's brother played at State before I did.
Yeah.
So okay. Jason was coming out. We thought we had Jason guaranteed.
Really?
He sold his devil to the War Eagles. That's what he did. He sold it. He sold his soul.
What position did your brother play?
Linebacker.
Yeah.
Wow. Can we talk about tonight's game, for God's sakes, you guys?
Man, the game is on. We're supposed to be watching the game now.
Wait, no, the game is 8:20 start.
Smoot doesn't get time. Smoot doesn't understand time.
He does. No concept of time whatsoever. All right, Jalen Hurts, an unknown commodity from the standpoint of not a whole lot of tape on him, Fred Smoot.
Yeah.
So he can create a problem for guys like you who keeps a play alive in that backfield.
No, he just make you as a defensive back keep your eye off of him and keep your eye on your man unless we zone blitzing, which that's what a coach like Greg would do against a guy like him, zone blitzing. And he more Russell Wilson than he is Lamar Jackson. Very smooth runner, not the fastest, not the biggest, but also got some baseball player in his background, can throw from every angle, and he's fearless. He's played in all the big championship games. He's been up for the Heisman. He's a work hard guy. He seems to have the pulse of that locker room. And when the play break down, it's still a chance with him. Now you got to ask yourself, this defense has been great. Who haven't we been great against? Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, and Kyler Murray. So we seem to not do well against the quarterbacks that get outside the pocket and extend plays. Now I got to put that in Jack Del Rio's lap. What is he going to do with the pen and the pencil against Peterson and the rest of their coaching staff that's going to be different than they used to seeing from this Washington defense?
And Jason, there's a guy on this franchise called Chase Young who I think he's kind of solidified the Defensive Player of the Year honors. 15 years and 2 days ago, a guy named Sean Taylor in Philadelphia sealed the deal with a fumble return for touchdown to send the Washington franchise to the playoffs. When you look at a guy like Chase Young, from your quarterback position, what kind of problems does he present you?
Yeah, Chase, first of all, he's a power guy. He can get up under guys, shoulder pass, and he has a great rush. He got a good up and under. The one thing he does, he's long length. And when I say that is, he has a knack to reach for the ball. Like you see a lot of guys that try to go completely for sacks. You already see in this kid's young early age that he goes for the knockout ball. Like he tries to hit the ball while he's trying to make a sack. Only a few defensive ends are able to think that way and react at the same time. He's one of those type of guys. And, ultimately, Philly's going to have to know where he's at all times of the field. I think they're going to try to put him in a position where they do run some read stuff at him to make him have to see if he's going to chase the quarterback or he's going to take the back. Like Fred was saying, this is a game where, for me, your linebackers got to be on their keys because you can't get caught looking in the backfield and let their tight end get behind you, who had a ton of catches the first time that Washington played Philly. And so you got to make sure you stand on your man. If you got the running back, stick with the running back. Don't try to be the hero and come back and make a tackle on Jalen. And all of a sudden he pitched the ball to the running back. He's going down the sideline. And if you're a DB, like Fred said, you can't get your eyes caught up in the backfield. Washington has given up a lot of plays earlier this year on deep balls in the first half. In the second half, they always do a better job of responding after they go into halftime. But they have got to flip that in their mindset. They cannot get behind tonight 14-0 with the playoffs on the line because now you're putting all that added pressure. You need to come out there and play relentless and not get beat deep. Like force Jalen to have to beat you with accurate throws. Don't just let guys go by you because they're going to take some shots with Deshaun.
Yeah, D-Jack. Everybody forget the D-Jack equation. He's not getting any slower. Now
No,
he can't. His body ain't staying put together like it used to, but he's not getting any slower. And that's what they want to do. They want to make us play from behind because we've done it all year. One of the few games that we've been front running, and that's when you get to see defense and pass rushers go play football, is when you actually got the lead. Philadelphia was one of those games where we got up and we got to see this pass rush really get after some people. So that's what I'm looking to see. Can we score early? And I want to see this D-line play with a lead so we can let the dogs loose.
All right. So here's the funniest thing for me tonight. And Fred already mentioned it. For 4 years, I covered Jason Campbell. Okay. 4 years, I stuck a microphone in front of his face, ask a question, and I'd get like 11 seconds of answer. It was like he'd say his thing and he was done, right? I'm like, I'd get done with interviews and I go, look, that quarterback just gave us nothing. He's like, this guy is so tight-lipped. You listen to him right now. I've seen you on NBC Sports Washington, and I'm seeing you right here waxing poetic, man. I wish you were that way when you were a player, but I understand it. I understand it. You know, I get it. You know, coaches are like, hey, man, don't give too much shit away, blah, 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 let's blah, blah, blah. But I mean, you have evolved as a
now, Chick, I can say some things. Yeah, I can say something now. Back then, they kept you on a leash. They didn't want you to say too much. They let you know before you can get there. And don't give too much. You give them a little bit and go on. But I understand, like, being on this side of it now, it is hard. You know, like, you try to dig some answers out of some guys, like, you know, and everything. But it is important that you learn how to communicate. And I think, you know, me playing in D.C. and me playing out in California and a lot of these big cities, you know, it definitely prepped me for the what I'm doing now. So, you know, but definitely, though, like I said, man, I have so much that I could pass on to some of these young guys. But I reached out to Haskins after he was drafted. I reached out to him after he was benched. You know, but you can't force your way on the guys to ask questions. Like I said, I don't want anything from these guys. I just want to help them, you know, to see some things that maybe you didn't see as an early age, or saw some things, but you had somebody to tell you along the way, and it got you through there. You know, I was able to play 10 years in the league, you know, and could have played more. You know, I was having a really good career out in Oakland, broke my collarbone. But, you know, things happen, and, you know, you just got to keep plowing. But I've always had mentors, Chick, and that's the thing. Like, you can't know too much. And I think now so much is given to these kids as an early age that they don't earn anything. So when it comes time for them to have to earn something, they don't know how. The first thing they know how to do in college is, I'm going to transfer to another college. What they do in the pros is, I'm going to go be by myself. I'm not going to talk to anyone, you know? So those are just things, because you don't know any better, because you don't have anyone trying to push you in that direction. So hopefully these guys find mentors.
So you reached out to him. What was the response?
I didn't get anything, you know, so that's the thing, you know, you get anything. So that's the thing. Like, sometimes I don't know if these kids feel like somebody wants something from them. Look, I don't want your money. You know what I'm saying? I've been able to do that successfully. I'm just trying to help another young kid that I see in a position where, you know, he's trying to get to that next level. You don't want the kid to waste the opportunity. Like, you only get one shot to come through the NFL. You can make it a long career, or you can have it to be a really short career. And, you know, the way that he's going right now, you know, he's going to be in and out in 3 years. But if he can get himself together from a maturity standpoint and stop feeling like, I'm up here, let me just bring it here and start to listen and just drive, then he has the opportunity. He has the arm talent to stay in the league for a while, especially with the offenses they run now. They kind of gear the offenses towards your talent. It used to be, no, you got to fit into the system. But now coaches are realizing, like, there's like 8 to 9 starting African-American quarterbacks now, because they're not trying to change them. They're making the system to their ability, where they used to try to make you fit the system. It's the opposite now. So it's such a great opportunity for these guys, more so nowadays. Back then, when I was playing, and McNabb and everybody else, we had to fit systems.
Damn it, Jason. Now you won't stop talking. All right, first we couldn't get you to talk, and now I can't get you to stop talking. But you're totally right. But I don't understand why he would think somebody like you would want something from him. It ain't nothing that he's finna see that you haven't already saw. It ain't nothing that he was first round, you was first round. He almost played for a national championship. They messed over y'all and didn't give y'all a national championship. You've done everything that he's done. Why wouldn't he want to soak up that knowledge? And you're right. The new kids, the new millennial, because we give them so much so early, they never had to work for anything. They think they're right about everything, about never wrong about anything. And then you want to try to guard them from having to touch that fire to know it's hot. But sometimes they just have to do it.
All right. No, you're right, Fred. That's the difference between now and, they always say, like, oh man, older guys are just jealous because now these young guys get. No, that's not it. Like, I'm pretty sure guys before us said we got way more than they got, so it's gonna always be that way. But I was trying to talk to him from a mental standpoint of, like, how to play the game and how to do what you got to do to get teammates to be with you, but be real. Like, some of the things I saw was just like, okay, he hadn't played football enough to understand, because, like I said, he had that 1 year at Ohio State. And then he come to Washington, and his first adversity was here. And and this is a major city. It can eat you up if you don't know how to deal with the media, if you don't know how to deal with, like, the confines of being a quarterback in DC. And I think that I don't know if it was more pressure because he lived here and he grew up there and, his family hearing one thing and everything, then it gets to him and then it makes him feel more nervous, or because what got me was when he had a 300-yard game, but they lost to Baltimore, he was behind Lamar playing, no, you need to get to the locker room, you know what I'm saying, and be upset a little bit about you just lost the game. Who cares about the 300 yards? You lost, and then just go to show you, like Chick was saying, on the cell phone, and then just, it's just different things like that, man, that just shows you, like, man, he just needs someone to just grab him and, like, really, like, dig into him. But you can't just dig into somebody if they're not willing to take the information too, though. So he's got to be willing to receive it if he really wants to be good.
And for the record, not all millennials are like that. And frankly, I'm not even sure if he is a millennial, technically. But I have to throw that out there.
What's after millennial? I think it's centennial,
like
right?
Gen Z, Gen X, or Gen Z.
I thought it was centennial.
Not centennial.
See, all the people.
It's Gen X or Gen Z. I can't remember which.
No, see,
one of those
people
two.
like Chick. See, Chick appreciate that Jesus give him a free haircut week in and week out. He don't get mad about that. He appreciate it. Hey, you know what? I ain't
2 days growth.
I see the stubby over there. I see you looking stubby.
That's 2 days growth.
Yeah, you already that Clemson colors on, but it's about no. Hey, Chick, when you lose on the golf course, you don't just quit, you come back.
I come right back. I come right freaking back is what I do, because I know.
Yeah, I heard Rock Cartwright been whipping you though.
No. Ask Rock the last time we played. Rock gave me 2 strokes, and he goes, and after I think I was 3 under after 5 holes, he looked at me and went, "What the hell is this?" I'm like, "Hey, it's just golf, man."
Well, what you know about Smooth Shambo? That's the question.
I don't know anything about
Smooth Shambo.
Oh,
we got 3 minutes till game time, by the way. All right, so give me your final thoughts here on tonight's game. It's Washington at Philadelphia, a chance to get to the playoffs the first time. It's the most bizarre season. We all get that. And here we are, Alex Smith, maybe Terry McLaurin in, Chase Young for the Burgundy goal, going against Jalen Hurts, Deshaun Jackson. I'll start with Mr. Let's give Amish. Amish, who's Ravens, by the way, won 38-3 over the
that was
Bengals.
Fun to watch. Yep.
Lamar Jackson, by the way, 10 of 18, 113 through the air, and 11 carries, 97 yards on the ground. Was untouched, basically. He ran so smartly.
And he's thrown since he's been in the league, he's never threw an interception in the red zone. He's thrown 49 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Phenomenal. Amish, who are you picking tonight?
Washington football team. Against my better judgment, I'm going 24-17, Washington football team.
24-17. All right, Mr. Fred Smoot.
That sounds so. I've heard that somewhere before. But of course, I'm going to go with the team with no name. I'm also going Washington, but I think the kids going to play with a lot more spirit. I think they're going to come out and they're going to show that they really want this, because they want to prove that not only are we going to the playoff, but we got to prove to y'all that we belong. I hope you know the last team to get in at 7-9 was a Seattle team, all right, that kind of made some noise, and a Carolina Panther team that also made some noise, coached by our coach. So at the end of the day, I'm going to say we're going to go out there and put up the big 30 on these guys tonight. 30-9. They don't even score a touchdown.
30-9. Okay.
Smoot, you look like a hologram with that background. Yeah,
it's nice. It's a nice outfit. You got to.
Hey, listen,
Mr. Jason Campbell. Mr. Jason.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say this. I think Washington defense gonna show up tonight, but I also think watching all these games today, the teams that are already out the playoffs have been giving trouble to the teams that are trying to fight and win and get in the playoffs. So I think Washington gonna eventually pull this out 20-17 tonight in a drag out. I just think it'll be maybe a 10-7 game at halftime. Washington wins at 20-17.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 27-20. Washington a winner over Philadelphia. If Washington doesn't win, the Giants are in at 6-10. First time in NFL history that a team makes the playoffs at 6-10.
But guess what? That means we get to draft Kyle Pitts. I love Kyle Pitts. He's a souped-up, faster version of Shannon Sharp. He's 6'6", 255 pounds, the tight end from Florida. He is a weapon, mark my word. Smoostradamus do this every year. I tell you who the ball is going to be. Kyle Pitts, perennial.
Why wouldn't you go after Devontae Smith? You can put him opposite of McLaurin. Then you got two stud receivers out there.
No. That's just like me buying sports cars and getting 2 Lamborghinis. I don't need that. I need something that's a mixed match.
You got a few quarterbacks you can get in free agency, but you could probably have Alex for one more year.
Let me ask you something, quarterback. What would you have starting off? Would you rather have 2 number 1 receivers, number 1 receiver, and a number 1 tight end?
Well, the way the game is played now, you want a number 1 tight end to go along with a number 1 receiver.
Thank you, then. Because Kelsey, look at the offenses that dominate.
Right.
They have a number 1 receiver and a legit tight end. When it comes to Kittles and the rest of those guys, give me Kyle Pitts, and you can have your Devontae Smith. Let him get the Heisman. I'm fine with it. I'm good. I ain't really a Alabama receiver guy.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Jason, great to catch up with you, man. What are you up to these days besides several different media outlets?
Yeah, besides TV and radio, I just, I enjoy trying to get out and do some home renovations. I'm trying to, I really enjoy like doing properties and different things like that. But other than that, you can find me on podcasts. You can find me on IG, JCampbell17, or so, I do NBC Washington, but at the same time, I do work for Auburn Sports Radio. So
nice.
I got a lot of different things I'm doing now. So, I kind of enjoy it. Can't wait to try to play golf again. Had to get my knee right for a little bit, but don't worry, chick. I'm coming back to DC to play you at Avondale.
Oh, that's what it is. That's why. That's why you gained a little weight. I thought it was because your gluten intake. It's the knee. I thought it was because of gluten.
That's so wrong. That is so wrong. Jason, great to catch up with you, man. I appreciate you. We get to the playoffs. Maybe we talk again because I like your insight. The game has started. We will be back here on Facebook and Twitter for the post-game show. We're not doing halftime, by the way, fellas.
No, we fine.
Yeah, we'll do post-game. We'll come back for the post-game for those on Facebook and Twitter. For now, for Jason Campbell, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Great to see y'all.
Great to see you. That's Chicken Smoot. We are out. Stop holding the cup up, Smoot. Amish, what are you doing? Wait,
it's not my name.
Hey, and I
Get
gotta
my
tell
name
you
right.
now, for the post game, if we even close to winning, I'm gonna be tipsy now. I'm gonna be tipsy.
I know you will.
So you're gonna have to drive the ship.
Yeah, no, dude. I was tipsy starting this. I had a bottle of wine at dinner.
I want to show some conviction in coming here drink free to start it off.
Yeah, I could do that. No. Again, sorry they're not at Augie's tonight, but who knows? Playoffs next week could be a different ball.
Knock on wood.
You what?
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Where's those eyebrows at, by the way?
I'll get them back.
I'll get them back for the post-game show.
I will.
All right. Fred, Amish, Chicken Smoot, out.
Anytime.
Post-game. See y'all post-game. Peace. Oh, knuckleheads. They're a bunch of knuckleheads, what they are. They're a bunch of knuckleheads. That's it. Chicken Smoot is out. I'll see you guys for post-game.